everyone, I'm Heather, and on this channel, I work at the intersection of astrology, psychology, moral cognition, and power dynamics, both individually and collectively. What I've been building in this series is not personality typing, pop astrology wise. This is a framework for understanding how different archetypes carry moral weight under pressure. What happens to identity, authority, and responsibility in ethics when systems destabilize and comfort disappears? Most conversations about masculinity and femininity stay surface level. They focus on traits, aesthetics, communication styles, or social performance. What I'm interested in is something much more precise. Where does pressure actually go when reality hardens? Who carries it? Who redirects it? Who avoids it? And who collapses under it? That's where moral cognition comes in. How an archetype decides what is right, necessary, or justified under pressure and stress and identity capture, which happens when someone confuses how they are rewarded socially with who they actually are under pressure. I wanted each archetype to understand this within themselves, not as judgment, but as clarity. Because until you know how your nervous system and ego behave under strain, you will keep mistaking performance for strength and reaction for authority. This work isn't about ranking people as better or worse. It's about distinguishing between appearing strong and being load bearing when no one agrees, claps, or comforts you. So that is what I was doing with my last 12, 13 videos. There was one oddball in there with the geomagnetic storm and the aurora. I had to throw that in there. So that's what I've been doing with the last 12 videos within the moral cognition series. And so I know that's going to trigger certain personalities the deepest. So I am going to do this video and already describe video formats. Why this triggering to Aries ESTP, they're used to being first, Gemini or ENTJ, and Libra ENTP. So Gemini and Libra socially and within themselves consider themselves one of the most masculine. And so I want to break this down comparing Aries, Gemini, and Libra, just kind of like feather it out and talk about it a little bit more. So I already know I'm probably going to get clapped back. If not, that's fine. If so, that's also fine. So these three signs are not the weakest. They are the most identity invested in appearing strong. What triggers them isn't insult, it's exposure. Polarity conversations don't attack their intelligence, talent, or charisma. They quietly reveal where pressure transfers instead of being carried. And for Aries, Gemini, and Libra, that revelation hits the ego directly. So, Aries, ESTP, triggered by hierarchy after initiation. I'm trying to block that light. It's kind of bright. So Aries is genuinely masculine in ignition, courage, action, willingness to move first, willingness to confront. But polarity discussions expose a painful truth Aries doesn't like to face. Starting something is not the same as holding it. So I did put Aries as number 2, and so this is why I am making this video, because they're used to being number 1. I get it. Aries rising here. Believe me, I get it. I talk fast. I drive fast. I walk fast. I am competitive. Believe me, y'all, I get it. So, anyways, under pressure, Aries excels in the moment of impact. But once consequence, maintenance, patience, or containment is required, Aries often wants out. Polarity frameworks don't deny Aries' strength. They relocate it. They place Aries below containment-based archetypes like Capricorn or the ISTJ, and future structuring archetypes like Aquarius or the INTJ. That feels like demotion. I actually know an Aries and Capricorn married. Hopefully they're doing well. Aries is triggered because it feels like the strongest in real time, but polarity frameworks measure endurance, consequence, and survivability, not adrenaline. Aries hears that as invalidation rather than differentiation. So the trigger is not you're not masculine. The trigger is your masculinity is not final authority. Let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, or the ENTJ, triggered by containment and commitment. I'm going to move over a little bit more. So Gemini is triggered because it equates intelligence with power. Gemini is fast, articulate, adaptive, mentally dominant, and socially agile. In modern culture, those traits are mistaken for leadership and masculinity. Gemini often grows up praised for cleverness, verbal skill, and strategic maneuvering. So when polarity discussions rank Gemini lower under pressure, it feels insulting. But Gemini's discomfort comes from this exposure. Gemini moves pressure laterally, not vertically. When pressure increases, Gemini does not anchor. It multiplies options, narratives, exits, explanations, and angles. That's a gift in communication and strategy. But under sustained pressure, it becomes evasive, not leadership. Polarity models value holding the line, choosing despite loss, committing despite discomfort, and absorbing consequence. Gemini avoids consequence by design. It stays mobile to survive. That survival strategy works brilliantly until someone names it. Aquarius here. I'm the elder of the air signs, so y'all. All right, so Gemini is triggered because polarity frameworks expose that mental dominance is not equal to load bearing authority. Libra, or in TPs, triggered by the collapse of performed masculinity. So I believe Libras will probably be the most men. I'm mostly talking about the men because women are like, whatever. Men, men. I think Libras are going to be the most triggered. I think maybe Aries, women, and men will be triggered about not being number one. But so Libra is triggered because it equates social control with strength. Libra is elegant, articulate, persuasive, emotionally intelligent, and capable of steering people without overt force. In modern discourse, this is often framed as higher masculinity, refined, evolved, non brutish. Libra internalizes that identity deeply. Polarity frameworks rupture this illusion. They reveal that Libra regulates through relationship, not direction. Under pressure, Libra seeks consensus, postpones enforcement, diffuses responsibility, and prioritizes harmony over consequence. That places Libra closer to the feminine end under stress, regardless of how masculine it sounds intellectually. This is especially triggering because Libra knows how to talk like authority. It knows the language of fairness, logic, ethics, and reason. When someone points out that speaking authority is not the same as embodying it, Libra feels exposed. The snap comes when Libra realizes, my power only works if others agree. That realization destabilizes Libra's self concept more than almost anything else. Why these three react the strongest? Aries, Gemini, and Libra are highly rewarded by modern culture. Aries for boldness, Gemini for intelligence, and Libra for social skill. So when polarity frameworks shift from the metric of from performance to pressure, these signs feel personally threatened. They are not weak, they are optimized for environments without sustained consequence. Polarity theory does not shame them. It simply changes the scoreboard. And when the scoreboard changes, the loudest reactions come from those who were winning under the old rules. The core reason for the trigger: polarity discussions don't attack who they are. They reveal who carries weight when no one claps, agrees, or follows. That's the difference between appearing masculine and being masculine under pressure. And that distinction is where Aries, Gemini, and Libra feel the heat first. So, under stress, Aries, Gemini, and Libra versus Capricorn, Scorpio, and Aquarius. This contrast isn't about personality preference, intelligence, morality, or likability. It's about where pressure goes when systems destabilize. Stress is the great revealer. It strips away performance, charm, speed, and theory and exposes who carries weight, who redirects it, and who avoids it. So, how Aries, Gemini, and Libra respond to stress. Aries burns hot, then hands off. Under stress, Aries accelerates. Aries responds to pressure with action, confrontation, urgency, and force. This can be effective early on. Aries cuts through paralysis and gets things moving when others hesitate. But stress is not momentarily event. It is sustained resistance. And that's where Aries struggles. Once adrenaline fades, Aries often loses patience with maintenance, resents delay and constraint, disengages when momentum stalls, and seeks a new battle rather than holding the line. Aries under stress externalizes pressure. It wants resistance gone, not contained. If resistance persists, Aries feels blocked, controlled, or disrespected and either explodes or exits. Aries initiates, but it does not want to become the container. Gemini. Y'all, Geminis. Most of my best friends were Geminis and Libras in high school. I will say that. I will say that. Y'all are fun. Y'all are fun. Gemini disperses pressure through motion. Under stress, Gemini multiplies pathways. Gemini responds to pressure by thinking faster, talking more, reframing constantly, and staying mobile. Instead of anchoring, Gemini moves sideways into new ideas, new narratives, new strategies, and new conversations. This reduces psychological intensity but also prevents closure. Under sustained stress, Gemini avoids final decisions, reframes instead of resolves, stays in process indefinitely, evacuates responsibility through explanation. Gemini's genius is adaptability, but adaptability becomes evasion where pressure demands commitment. Gemini does not want to hold consequence, it wants to stay ahead of it. Libra or ENTP softens stress until it implodes. Under stress, Libra regulates the environment. Libra responds to pressure by soothing tension, negotiating tone, postponing conflict, and seeking consensus. This keeps systems pleasant longer, but at the cost of unresolved truth. As stress accumulates, Libra delays enforcement, absorbs resentment silently, prioritizes peace over clarity, and diffuses responsibility across the group. Eventually, the system collapses anyway. And when it does, Libra snaps. Libra under stress doesn't break loudly, it breaks late. Libra's weakness is that its authority only functions with consent. So, how Capricorn, ISTJ, Scorpio, ENFP, and Aquarius, INTJ respond to stress. Now, the contrast becomes structural. These three archetypes do not redirect pressure outward, they internalize, metabolize, and contain it. Capricorn becomes the load bearing structure. Under stress, Capricorn slows down and holds. Capricorn does not react emotionally or theatrically. It absorbs pressure into responsibility, structure, and endurance. Where Aries burns and Gemini moves, Capricorn stays. Under sustained stress, Capricorn accepts burden rather than avoids it, enforces boundaries without drama, prioritizes function over comfort, holds systems together even when unseen. Capricorn does not need agreement to act. It operates from duty, consequence, and time tested reality. Stress doesn't destabilize Capricorn, it activates Capricorn. Scorpio, ENFP. Compresses pressure into control. Under stress, Scorpio condenses. Scorpio does not diffuse, negotiate, or flee. It pulls pressure inward, intensifies focus, and transforms emotional chaos into contained power. Where Libra smooths, Scorpio cuts. Where Gemini reframes, Scorpio remembers. Under sustained stress, Scorpio tracks power precisely, enforces boundaries ruthlessly if needed, eliminates leaks and vulnerabilities, and remains present in emotional intensity. Scorpio does not fear discomfort. It fears loss of control. And under stress, it ensures control by narrowing scope and increasing depth. Scorpio does not need validation. It needs leverage. Now, Aquarius INTJ withdraws emotionally and holds strategically. Under stress, Aquarius detaches without abandoning. Aquarius does not regulate the present moment, it regulates the future. When systems destabilize, Aquarius steps back emotionally so it can see clearly and redesign. Under sustained stress, Aquarius stops participating in emotional chaos, tracks long term consequences, refuses false reassurance, holds ethical direction even when isolated. Aquarius does not collapse under pressure. It becomes colder, clearer, and more principled. This is why Aquarius often looks heartless under stress. It isn't. It is prioritizing survivability over comfort. So the core difference, and this is the line: Aries, Gemini, and Libra manage stress through expression, movement, and relationship. Capricorn, Scorpio, and Aquarius manage stress through containment, control, and foresight. That's the dividing line. Aries releases pressure, Gemini redirects pressure, Libra diffuses pressure. Versus Capricorn carries pressure, Scorpio compresses pressure, Aquarius strategizes pressure. Only the second group can hold systems together when resistance does not go away. Why this is so triggering. Aries, Gemini, and Libra often feel masculine because they dominate space early through action, speech, or social control. Capricorn, Scorpio, and Aquarius are masculine after the collapse, when no one is clapping, no one agrees, no one is comfortable, and no one wants responsibility. Masculinity under pressure is not loud, it is load bearing. And that's why these frameworks provoke such intense reactions, because they don't argue, they observe what survives. So, final distillation. When reality hardens, Aries wants movement, Gemini wants options, and Libra wants agreement. But Capricorn holds, Scorpio contains, and Aquarius redesigns. And pressure always chooses who stays standing. So, in closing, here's the point I want to leave you with. This conversation was never about shaming Aries, Gemini, or Libra. These are intelligent, capable, impactful archetypes. They initiate movement, generate ideas, and regulate social environments better than anyone. But polarity under pressure doesn't measure talent. It measures who holds when pressure does not go away. And that's the part modern culture avoids talking about, because performance is easier to reward than endurance, and expression is easier to celebrate than containment. Masculinity under pressure is not loud. It is not charming, and it is not clever. It is load bearing. So if this framework felt uncomfortable, that discomfort is information, not accusation. It's an invitation to look honestly at where your strength actually lives and where it transfers pressure instead of carrying it. That is how polarity becomes conscious. All right, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed my series here. I hammered the 12 personality types in like 2 days. Most of them were like an hour long videos. So I feel so much better getting all of that out. Going to move on. I wanted to do this video first before I moved on. I am moving on into talking about containment. First, the morality, how morality is weaponized in the archetypes. containment, relationships, and then bring it back to culture. So that's how identity stops being performative. And that's how individuals and systems actually survive collapse. So if this resonated, sit with it before reacting to it. And if you're ready to go deeper, we will continue unpacking how different archetypes carry moral weight, not in theory, but where it counts under stress. So thank you so much for being here. Feel free to write your comments, thoughts, and feelings in the box below. Like and subscribe. Thank y'all so freaking much for, I think, over 100 subscribers in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks, honestly. Thank you so much. I've been working very, very hard here. After this, I will actually upload my down low book. I knew that video was going to take off. It's another very difficult topic to talk about. I understand it's a very rough one that is fully came to light within the last 4 or 5 years. Many people are talking about it, calling it for what it is, and I just wanted to give more structure and language to what was actually going on with down low culture. And so that book will be available shortly, and I think I did make the book cover already. Yeah, so I just need to upload it. So after I upload it, I'll leave it in the comments, let y'all know, and then I will certainly upload this last video of all of the archetypes under moral weight, identity capture, and polarity. So I am still working on that. It's probably going to be over 100 pages. It is mostly done. So anyways, let me know y'all thoughts and take care, and I will see you in the next video.